G'day, it's Jonathan here from Dawson Heating and Cooling. Today I'm going to show you how to set up the 7-day weekly timer on your Daikin Ducted wall controller. This controller is known as a BRC1E63, sometimes also referred to as a Nav controller. Not all controllers are exactly the same. There is some older models, but the setup process is very similar. Have you ever wanted to set up your system so that it's a different time and a different temperature at different times of the day and not have to worry about it? Let me show you how it's done. So the first thing we need to do to get into the controller is push the middle enter button, which then lights up the screen. You'll see on this controller that the time is currently set. It's Wednesday at 11:29. If there's no time or day showing, you actually need to make sure you go into your time clock settings and do that through the menu. You can actually have a look on one of our other videos and learn how to do that. Next thing we do is we push the enter button again. We then want to navigate down to schedule and push the enter button. The first item is enable or disable. We click on that. At the moment, the timer is disabled. We want to make sure we enable that. So scroll down using the up or down button and then push enter. Save this setting will come up, and of course we want to save that. Now you'll see there is a little time clock symbol up on the top right hand side of the screen. That's an indicator that the schedule is enabled. So now we go back into the menu again by pushing the enter button, scroll down to schedule. The next thing we see is schedule number set. We click on that and it's currently set to schedule number 1. This enables us to actually go through 3 different schedules and set up for different scenarios. But in this instance, we're just going to set up number 1. So we click enter and save it yes. One more time, we go back into the schedule. And now we want to scroll down to settings. Push enter. And as you can see, this is the schedule settings for schedule number 1. At the moment, we're on Monday. So we'll start with Monday and we push, you can adjust the day by going up and down, but we're going to push across and now you'll see we're on the time. So in this example, we're going to scroll up to 7 AM because we want the system to turn on at 7 AM. The action, we want to make sure we go to on. We then push the right arrow. Then we set our desired temperature for cooling and heating. So we might want to say, we'll have our system, if in summer, the system will cool at a set point of 24, and in winter, it might heat at a set point of 23. We'll change that to 22 for this example. We then push the right arrow again, and we can now set our next schedule for the day. As you can see, you can set up to 5 different actions during the day. The next schedule, we might want to set the system to turn off at 9 AM, it's a common time, we might go to work. You can set that to whatever time you want, and then we scroll up until we see off. Now what that'll do is that'll make sure the system turns completely off at 9 AM. So therefore there's no temperature and the system won't continue to run at all. You can actually also leave the system on, but just take your set points to a much higher set point. For example, on cooling, 31, which means it'll rarely turn on. Or heating, you might turn right down so that it won't turn on until the house gets down to 16 degrees. But we'll go back and we'll actually turn it off at 9 AM. We then push the right arrow key across. Now we might want to set a time for the system to turn on when we get home from work. So let's set the system for 4 PM by scrolling up. 4 PM. We want the system to turn back on again. Push the right arrow key to continue to scroll across. We want to set the timer, same again. We might say for cool, we want to set it on 23, and heat, we might only want to set it on 20 for example, in the afternoon. We then push the right arrow key. Once again, we've got another schedule setting here. We might go backwards. It's a lot quicker to go back. We might set at 10 o'clock or 10:30, we'll scroll up to 10:30. You can hold the button down and it'll go a little bit quicker. 10:30, we push the right arrow key again. The action, you can actually have it stay on like I explained before. And then now we might want to say, let's turn this so that it only comes on cooling, or not at all on cooling, which you go all the way up so that there's no temperature displayed. But on heating, we might say Yep, let's come on if the house gets down below 18 degrees. And then we push the right arrow key, and then Monday is set. We can continue to push the right arrow key, and we're back until Monday is highlighted. We can then scroll up to Tuesday. Now we've got two options here. We can either enter Tuesday and do it all manually and do it completely different than Monday, or we can push the top menu button or the mode button, and it copies everything from Monday across to Tuesday. You can then go and edit individual items if you like, or continue to go up to Wednesday by pushing the up arrow and then copy again. And it will always copy the settings from the day before. So in this instance, we'll set up every day the same. Thursday, we'll copy that. Friday, we'll copy that. Saturday, we'll copy that. And Sunday, we'll do the same. So now, as we scroll through, every single day of the week is set for the settings that we set up just for Monday. So 7 a.m. it'll turn on at 24 degrees on cooling, or if it's on heating, 22 degrees. It'll then turn off at 9 a.m. 4 p.m. it'll turn back on at 23 degrees on cooling or 20 degrees on heating. And 10:30 it'll turn on at 18 degrees. Now that'll mean all night it'll run at 18 degrees until the next setting on the next day, which will then change the setting at 7 o'clock in the morning. So that's pretty much how we set it up. What we now need to do is push the enter button. It'll ask you, do you want to save these settings? We then push yes. So as you can see, we've got the timer symbol on, and those schedules that we've set up for schedule number 1 will be in effect every day of the week. Now that the schedule's set up, if there's any adjustments you'd like to make, you follow the exact same procedure. We go into the menu, we scroll down to schedule, we then scroll down to settings. Here's our settings we've set up previously. So what we now can do is, if we want to make it so that nothing happens on Monday at all for any reason or any day of the week, we can scroll up and down. Let's use Saturday for this example. If we don't want any action to happen, we select Saturday. We use the right arrow key across to the action, which is this column here. At the moment it's saying on. We use the up and down arrow to select the double lines. This means no action will take place. We then push the right arrow key to the next day. It doesn't matter what the time says there. The action, same again, scroll down until the double lines. We do that with each day, each schedule. Hit up and down and then click the right arrow. And what that does is that's made it so Saturday has no schedule in it whatsoever. To save that setting, we click the enter button, and it'll ask if you want to save the setting, and we click yes. So now we have a look up here, you can see that the schedule timer is enabled. If you are going away for an extended period, or you'd like to cancel the schedule altogether, we go through the same process as we did in the beginning. Hit the menu button, go down to schedule, hit the menu button again, go to enable or disable, and then we scroll up or down until disable is shown on the screen and hit enter. Do you want to save these settings? Yes. And now you'll see there's no time clock any longer showing on the screen whatsoever. So hopefully that helps you, and if you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment below. Thanks for watching and have a great day.